Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिनिति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देहं श्रीगुरून् श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सखगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पति गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ईश्वरग परमग कृष्णग सच्चिदानंद विग्रहग अनादिरादिर गोविंदग सर्व कारण कारणम हरे कृष्ण. By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita, the purest knowledge, Pavitram. Krishna is teaching, in fact, Krishna is answering the questions asked by Arjuna. And Krishna also, when Arjuna asks one question, when Krishna is answering, he is giving answers in a very detailed way that Krishna takes many slokas and we understand, we get a lot of knowledge about ourselves. So only in Bhagavad Gita we can get knowledge about ourselves. If we know about ourselves, that we are not the body, then we also know that we are bound inside this body and forced to work. So that way, there is no option for us whether to work or not. That we need to understand very well, to act or not. So there is no such option. Simply by not working, we cannot get freedom from the reaction. Krishna is teaching that very clearly in the 3rd chapter, 4th sloka. Na karmanam anarambhan naiskarmyam purushoshnu. That means not by working. Na karmanam anarambhan means not by working one can get freedom from the reaction. Naiskarmyam. Na karmanam anarambhan naiskarmyam purushoshnu. That means karmanam anarambhan na naiskarmyam purushoshnu. So that's what we need to understand. So that way we have to work. Nacha sannyasana deva siddhim sama adhigachyat. By sannyasa alone, that means by renunciation alone, nacha sannyasana deva siddhim sama adhigachyati. That means sannyasana deva na siddhim sama adhigachyati. So just by renunciation alone, one cannot attain perfection. So siddhi means perfection. Siddhim yata vindadi tachunu. That's what in the 18th chapter also Krishna is saying. Now you hear from me how to achieve Siddhi, perfection. So that Siddhi, perfection, we can achieve that Naiskarmya Paramam, Siddhim Adigachat. So Siddhim Vindati Manava. So that way, in order to get that perfection, that Siddhi, so in order to get freedom from reaction, that Naiskarmyam, all such things are possible only by acting. So by renunciation, by stopping our actions, we cannot get Siddhi. That part we need to understand very, very clearly. So that way that option is not there at all. And another thing Krishna is teaching us that no one is free also. So that's why the choice is even not there for us. No one is free. Everyone is forced. Of course, a devotee is always free. Because for a devotee who is able to find satisfaction in the self alone, there is no work to do. He is free. But that is not the same for others. Nahi kaschiti kshanamapi jatu tistati akarmakrit. In the 3rd chapter, 5th sloka, Krishna says. Many times we have studied these slokas. I quoted these slokas. Not even a single moment one can refrain from doing something. Nahi kaschiti kshanamapi jatu tistati akarmakrit. Because everyone is forced to act helplessly by the 3 modes of material nature. Karyategi avasaga karma sarvaga prakriti jair kuneka. So we are all controlled, we are all forced by these 3 modes of material nature. So that way the choice is not there. So that's why Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita, in the 6th chapter, 1st sloka. Anashridaga karma palam karyam karma karotiyaga sasanyasi cha yogi cha naniragnir nacha kriyaga. So we don't have the choice whether to do or not to do until we become a yogi, until we achieve that perfection. Once we achieve perfection, once we achieve Siddhi, then we have a choice. But until we become a yogi, there is no such choice for us. We have to act. So, but we have the choice while acting whether to get attached to the results or give up the attachment to the results. That choice is there for us. Anashridaga karma pal. Karyam karma karauti. So anashridaga karma pal. That means not getting attached to the results of activities. That choice is there for us. It's always there for us. We can choose to not get attached to the results. If you choose that, then we are a sannyasi, we are a yogi, sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. But if you don't choose that, then we are not a sannyasi, not a yogi. Naniragnir, na chakriya. So that choice is always there for us. Whether to become a yogi or not, that choice is there. So we have to become a yogi. We have to become a sannyasi. So that means we have to renounce the results of actions, not the actions. That's what we need to understand. So this is the philosophy, this is the science Krishna is teaching us in Bhagavad Gita very, very clearly. So now, when we say that we have the choice to give up the attachment to the results, and how that is possible? That is possible only by developing attachment to Krishna. Many times we have emphasized, we studied this particular point many times in the past also. Even today also we are going to study that also in the 12th chapter. So, by developing attachment to Krishna, we will be able to detach ourselves from the material sense objects. This detachment comes. So, how we can develop that attachment to Krishna? The very first step is understanding what Krishna is teaching us. That's what we are doing every day. So if we understand what Krishna is teaching us, then that means we are hearing, we are listening to Krishna. So when we listen to Krishna, when we understand what Krishna is teaching us, that means we are developing attachment on Krishna. We are getting attached to Krishna. So this is a process. That's what is happening with us, all of us every day. Day by day, we are slowly and steadily getting attached to Krishna, making constant and continuous progress. And it is not only constant and continuous progress, but also it's a permanent progress. Whatever we are gaining daily in our efforts to study and understand this Bhagavad Gita, many times in the past I have emphasized this very important fact that these achievements are permanent. We are never going to lose this. That's why Krishna said that Neha Bikrama Nasosti Pratyavayu Na Vidyat. There is no loss or diminution in this endeavor. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. Neha Bikrama Nasosti Pratyavayu Na Vidyat. Even a little advancement in this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Swalpamapiyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhaya. So we need to make that progress every day. That is happening with us. That's why we are able to understand this Bhagavad Gita fully, completely. Because understanding every chapter, every sloka, what Krishna is teaching us is not an easy thing. Of course, it's easy for devotees. But when Krishna says that this is the most confidential knowledge, Rajaguhyam, Ragasyam Yetat Uttamam, Paramam Guhyam, all such things. So that means it is not that easy for everyone to get this knowledge, understand this knowledge. Because those who have no faith in Krishna, they are definitely not going to get this knowledge, understand this at all. Even if we try to explain them, it will not get into their ears. They don't even want to listen. They don't even care. We can't help. Whoever that person is, maybe our very close relative, sibling, children, parents, any kind of relationship. If they don't want to listen, if they don't want to hear, we cannot make them devotees. We need to understand that very clearly. This Bhagavad Gita belongs to each and every soul. We are the soul. And we have to get this knowledge fully to understand ourselves very well. And then do things which are going to be beneficial for the soul, for the Atma. That's what is called Atma Jnana, Adhyatma Vidya, Adhyatma Nitya. Krishna also says that of all the knowledge, I am the knowledge about the self. So that's what Krishna is teaching. Adhyatma Vidyana. Vidya. So we are getting this knowledge about ourselves. We are understanding. We understand every chapter. We understand the questions also very well. And we know the symptoms of a self-realized person. We understand what is Buddhi Yoga, Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Ashtanga, all yogas. Abhyasa Yoga. Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena Chetasa Nanya Paramam Purusham Divyam Yati Partanu Chintayan. So if we always think about Krishna, if we practice doing that every day, if we don't forget Krishna, then we are going to achieve Krishna. So we are going to go to Krishna. Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena Chetasana Anyagamina Paramam Purusham Divyam Yati Partha Anuchintaya. So we are going to Paramam Purusham Divyam Yati, the supreme transcendental divine person. We are going to achieve him by always thinking about him. Anuchintaya. So we should never ever forget Krishna at all. That means we should always remember Krishna all the time and do everything for Krishna and basically live this life only for Krishna only, nothing else, not for anyone else. Our goal is only to please Krishna only. That kind of mindset can come to us only with this full knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. If you understand Bhagavad Gita very well, if you listen to Krishna, if you follow his instructions, that means we are falling in love with Krishna. If you follow the instructions of Krishna, that means we are falling in love with Krishna. That means we are ditching this material world. We are detaching ourselves from this material world. That's very, very good for us. People think in general, oh, if you study Bhagavad Gita, we'll lose interest in the material things. That's not good like that. But that's really, really very good for us. We don't want to develop any interest on material things. We don't want. It's of no use. Material progress is not going to stay with us forever. Everything we are going to lose. But Krishna, we are not going to lose at any point of time. So, the real loser in this material world is the one who forgets Krishna, the Supreme Lord, who always resides with him. So, that way we are losing Krishna. Even though Krishna is with us, we are not realizing that in general in this material world and going after temporary material things. So, we need to worship Krishna to go to Goloka. We need to render devotional service unto Krishna to go to Goloka. Anityam ashukam lokam imam prapya bhajasva mam. Having come to this temporary miserable world, you worship me, render devotional service unto me. That's what Krishna is teaching. If you do that, we go to Goloka, we'll go to Krishna. Then we'll not come to this anityam asukam lokam, temporary miserable place. Now we are here. Now we are here in this temporary miserable place. Everything is going to come to an end here. Ultimately, we are going to lose everything. Even before losing everything by force at the time of death, we should be able to forget everything. We should be able to detach ourselves from everything. That is the best thing for us to do. Instead of getting ourselves detached from everything by force, voluntarily we should detach. There is something called voluntary retirement, correct? So something like that, voluntarily we should detach from everything. and they will give some benefits if anyone takes voluntary retirement. So here Krishna is giving us the benefit that we'll go to Goloka. If you voluntarily detach from everything, then the benefit is that we'll go to Goloka. By force, if you are sent out, by force, if you are kicked out of this body, and if we are very much attached to everything in this material world, then we won't get those benefits. Those benefits are given only for those who are voluntarily detaching everything, voluntary retirement. So that way, we have to retire ourselves from this material world as soon as possible. This is not when a person hits the age of 60, 65, not like that. Our material needs, we should minimize. That's what is very important. So we should engage ourselves in serving Krishna all the time. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 4 slokas in the 12th chapter of first 4 slokas in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is teaching us that in the first sloka, Arjuna asked a question to Krishna. Arjuna asked Krishna that Arjuna uvacha evam satata yuktaye bhaktas-tvam paripasati echapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. So those who are always engaged in your service, directly worshipping you as a person, or those who are worshipping the impersonal, that is unmanifested, aksharam avyaktam. So who is the best? Tesam ke yoga vittamaha. Of them, who is the best? Krishna told very clearly in the second sloka we studied. So Arjuna asked, which are considered to be more perfect? Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service. Bhaktas tvam pariyupasate. Those who are engaged in your devotional service. Or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested, aksharam avyaktam. Shri Bhagavan vacha maya vishya manu ye mam nitya yukta upasate shraddhaya parayopetaste me yukta tamamataga. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form, maya veshya manu ye mam nitya yukta upasate, and are always engaged in worshipping me, nitya yukta upasate, with transcendental faith, shraddhaya paraya upeta, with great and transcendental faith, are considered by me to be most perfect. Then te me yukta tama mataha. That's what Krishna is teaching. Then in the next sloka, Krishna is saying that those who worship the impersonal, unmanifested feature, they also come to me. Etvaksharam manirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatragam achintyam cha kutastam achalam dhruvam sanniyam yendriya gramam sarvat samabuddhayaga te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hiterataha. So, those who worship the impersonal aksharam, which is beyond the perception of the senses, aksharam, anirdeshyam, which is indefinite, avyaktam, unmanifested, pariyupasati. So those who are engaged in worshipping the impersonal Brahma. Sarvatragam achintyam cha, who is all pervading, inconceivable and unchanging, and is same everywhere. Achalam, dhruvam, fixed, immovable and fixed. So those who worship such impersonal feature of mind, so by controlling their senses, sanyam indriya gramam, by controlling their senses, sarvatra samabuddhayaga, by being equipoised with all living entities, sarvatra samabuddhayaga, te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hiterataha. So by engaging in the welfare activities of all beings, so they will also come to me. But is this the best way? No. Arjuna's question is that which is the best way? Evam satatayukta ye bhaktasvam paripasade ye chapi aksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittam. So tesham ke yoga vittam. Krishna said that te me yukta tamo mata. So I consider them to be the most perfect. Who? The devotees who worship him as a person. So, but those who worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all at last achieve me. Then the problem is that such worshipping the impersonal feature, even though we achieve Krishna at the end, but that path is very, very difficult and troublesome. Kleshu adhigataras tesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham dehavad biravapyati. So kleshu adhigataras. Kleshu means it's difficult, it's troublesome. That path is very troublesome. So those who are attached to the unmanifested, avyakta sakta, so those who are attached to the unmanifested, so for them that path is very difficult. Because avyakta hi gatir dukkham. So dukkham dehavad biravat. So for those who are embodied, so they will get distress if they take this path. So that's why in the 6th chapter also Krishna said that sanyasastu mahabhago dukkhamaptum ayogataka yoga yukto muni brahma nachirena adhigacchati. So sanyasastu mahabhago dukkhamaptum ayogataka. So those who take that path, it's full of troublesome, they will distress, full of distress. Whereas those who are engaged in my direct service, yoga yukto munihi brahma, so they will achieve Brahman without any delay. So that's why here Krishna is saying that for those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Then in the next sloka, Krishna is teaching 2 slokas together. Ye tu sarvani karmani mayi sanyasya matparaga ananyena iva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate teshamagam samuddarta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasam. So those who are performing all activities for my sake, so who surrender everything unto me, all the results unto me, that's what my sanyasya. Matparaga, that's what matparaga, keeping me as the supreme goal. So being attached to me, matparaga. Yetu sarvani karmani mahi sanyasya matparaga ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. Without any deviation, if they always are engaged, if they always engage themselves in worshipping me, thinking about me, remembering me, mam dhyayanta upasate, for them I will be the quick deliverer from this ocean of material miseries. Tesham aham samuddarta mrityu samsara sagarat bhamami nachirat pata mayavesita chetasam. So this is samsara sagaram. This is the ocean of material miseries. Mrityu samsara sagaram, where death is certain. So we should go to Goloka where there is no more death. So bhavami nachirat pata means I will deliver them without any delay. For those who are always focusing their thoughts on me, maya veshita chetasam. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation. So that's what, if you remember many times in the past, I said that devotion without any deviation. So that's what here. So engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Vata, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. So Krishna is teaching you that Mayeva mana adatsva Mayi buddhim niveshaya Nivasishyasi mayeva Atavurvam nasamshayam. So always fix your mind upon me. Mayeva mana adatsva. Always focus your intelligence upon me. Mayi buddhim niveshaya. By doing so, if you fix your mind upon me and you will focus your intelligence upon me, then you will elevate yourself. Basically, you will come to me. Athabhutvam. Nasam sega. Of this there is no doubt. Nasam sega. On this there is no doubt. So, no doubt. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always without a doubt. That's what Krishna is teaching. So, by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 4 more slokas. There is 8 slokas in the 12th chapter. Now, let us chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami Nitinamini. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Timir Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna to all the devotees. I kindly request the devotees to use the Zoom raise hand feature to ask your questions to Guruji. Ravindra Goyal Prabhu, Venkat Nagarjun Prabhu, and Mithun Prabhu says, Hare Krishna Guruji. Thank you for the wonderful class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Okay, Guruji, I don't see any questions so far. So thank you, Guruji, for today's class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna. Mithun Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guruji, thank you so much for today's class.
Yes, Mataji. Krishna has made me able to study. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, yes, Guruji. Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Mithun Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Pangepan Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Hare.
Today's class also, it is a different slogas from chapter 12. And it is 4 slogas. It is all are very interesting and really teaching us how to devote ourselves to Krishna.
Yes.
I think this particular chapter 12 is 11 and 12 both are teaching us, I feel, that how to worship Krishna. The questions are like that. So how to worship Krishna is the thing which is planned in detail. I think that is the thing I understood. And thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Chitrita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Guruji, there's one clarification I wanted about the personal and the impersonal form.
Yes.
Now, impersonal form is very difficult, you are saying. Can you just please tell me a little more about this, Guruji?
Yeah, impersonal form is the one what in the 11th chapter we studied, Krishna's Viswarupa, correct? Universal form. So that's what is Krishna's impersonal form. So that one is very difficult to perceive, correct? It's beyond the perception of senses. So that's why it's unmanifest. Even Arjuna, Krishna has to give him special eyes to Arjuna to see Krishna's universal form, correct? So whereas personal form is Krishna is directly standing in front of Arjuna there. So like we worship Krishna in the temple also with deity form. So there is Krishna's personal form. There you are able to bath Krishna, dress Krishna, give him prasadam to Krishna. Offer. So a lot of things we can do. So we cannot do such things to the impersonal feature. So that's what is the difference between personal and impersonal form.
Now, Guruji, my sometimes when you are kind of deviated, you see there are a lot of devotees. It could be Krishna, it could be Mahadev, anybody who have spent their lives in just kind of giving their service to them. But at the end of it, Guruji, you still find that there is they have not been able to kind of really achieve. Now, versus this, there are times when we think of Jagannath as the Lord of the Jagat. He is a Jagannath. So we feel that he is, again, in one way, he is an impersonal person. We say if he is controlling the whole world, sometimes it is easier to plug in to that image. Is that wrong, or is that, how do you...
It is not easy. It is not easy, Mataji. That's why Krishna is saying that path is very difficult and troublesome. Klesho adhigatarastesa. Only remembering Krishna in his personal feature like Shyama Shundra, correct? Venum Kwanantam Aravinda Dalayatакsham Bhagavatam Samasitam Puda Sundarangam Kantarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shubham Govindamadi Purusham Tamakam Bhajami. So that form, Krishna's Shyama Shundra form, so it's so beautiful and very attractive. So we can easily relate, like we are, when we say we love Krishna, when we are listening to Krishna, this Bhagavad Gita, all those things we refer to Krishna who was standing in front of Arjuna and gave him this knowledge, correct? We cannot every time refer to the impersonal feature. Of course, that is also Krishna's impersonal feature, also it's Krishna only. But when you want to offer prasadam, when you want to serve him, all such things, that is very much easy possible only in his personal form. That's why Krishna himself says very clearly, when Krishna said afterwards, there is no question, correct? Krishna himself says very clearly that te me yukta tamo matara. So I consider them to be the most perfect, those who fix their mind upon me. Maya vesya manoyamam nitya yukta upasati. So that way, worshipping Krishna's personal form, we will very quickly. Like that's what in the 12th chapter also today we studied. So, Tesam Aham Samudarta Mritu Samsara Sagarat Bhavami Nachirat Patra. Without any delay, I will quickly deliver them from this ocean of material miseries where death is certain. So, whereas the other path is Klesho Adhigatarastesam, Avyakta Sittachetasam, Avyakta Ki Gatir Dukkam Degavad Piramati. So, when Krishna says all such things, then why we need to put it?
And it is also, if I understand, if I'm worshipping the impersonal form as a normal, like a mortal that I am a human being, it is a one-way kind of relation. That I am only turning to him when I'm in trouble, but I'm not being able to kind of relate with him. That is my understanding, that when I'm turning to this impersonal form of Krishna, it is when I'm in trouble that, oh God, how he is looking after the whole world, how can he not look after this? But as you are correctly pointing out, that if I'm going to relate to the personal form, then it is a very, very, again, a personal relation with him. Is that right, Guruji?
Yes.
Okay. Guruji, I just, Shahana wants to send her pranam to you.
Oh, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
How is everything going?
Yeah, Krishna's mercy. It's going on. Hare Krishna. How about you? How are you doing? How are your studies? Everything
I'm
is
fine, Guruji. Yes, Guruji, everything is fine. And I listen to your classes Monday to Friday, like whenever I can at this time. And Sunday classes, I definitely try attending.
Yes. Sunday also we are in a different cycle, correct? But
yes,
Mother Days also, whenever you find time, you can watch.
And there is always time, actually. We should just like how it takes half an hour, we can always spare. There is nothing called no time.
That is correct. Yeah, Bhagavad Gita studying is very, very important because when we are engaged in serving Krishna by studying Bhagavad Gita, then in fact, Krishna himself will do our studies very well.
That's true. That's true, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Guruji. Namaskar.
Krishna. Namaskar, Hare Krishna. Chitrita Mataji, you sent me a question. So in today's lecture, I am focused
It
on
did,
that.
Guruji.
I hope you understood correct, Mataji.
Yes, today I think it's clear, Guruji.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Ravindra Goyal Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
It's going very well. I have one question. In today's class, you have said they are basically impersonal form of Krishna as well as the personal form of Krishna, and both are the ways to achieve Krishna. But the first one is troublesome, and second one is very, very comfortable and very easy to practice. This is what is the essence of today's class.
Yes, first one is a personal form is easy. Second one is impersonal feature is difficult.
Yes. And Guruji, you have in 12.8 probably you have said if you invest your intelligence in me, then you will live in me. So what is the meaning of living in me? Is it like
actually in this sloka, Krishna is not saying that you will live in me. He is saying that Ata urdhvam nasam sayagam. So then you will be coming to me, there is no doubt about it. Urdhvam means you will get elevated to Krishna as well. So there is no doubt about it. That's what he says.
So that means you will come to me means you will come to Goloka.
That's correct. That's correct. Exactly. You go to the spiritual.
And Guruji had earlier asked a question regarding the mana, which is one of the vibhutis of Krishna. Actually, this mana is so strong that even after practicing for almost 1.5 years, daily 16 rounds, I find it goes for wandering anywhere quite often. And it is very difficult to control really. And this is only one of the vibhutis of Krishna. And Krishna has said in 10th chapter, there is no end to his vibhutis.
Yeah.
So how much difficult it is to be friendly with Krishna actually. We cannot be friendly very easily with him. Even one of his vibhutis, mana, that is also very difficult to be friendly with mana. So we have to really work hard for be friendly with Krishna, I think.
Yes, just studying Bhagavad Gita, following Bhagavad Gita, that's it. Everything will be all right.
Thank you very much for this wonderful class. This is a daily dose which we are getting, and gradually we are moving in the right direction. Thank you very much, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Chandrakala Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Chandrakanta Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Actually, I was thinking of what Ravindra Goyal Prabhu was talking, Guruji. In spite of our, we are in the path for the last 1.5 years, but still sometimes I personally slip. What is happening? I don't know, Guruji. How to do that? Still, there's a long way to go. Sometimes I feel like that, Guruji. The bhakti, what you are talking of, we are doing bhakti. It's not that I'm not doing bhakti, but still this mind, no, Guruji, it goes here and there, Guruji. How to fix it in the process of our bhakti marga, Guruji. That's what I want to know, Guruji.
We need to keep serving Krishna, engaged in Krishna's service more and more. It will happen, Mataji. It will happen. When we are engaged in identifying devotees and serving Krishna, eventually we will be always in Krishna's service. So remembering Krishna. So that's what is very important. So the moment we forget Krishna, then we are going to deviate. So we should be very steady, strong all the time. We should not give any room to forget Krishna. So that can happen only if our sadhana becomes more and more stronger. It will happen, Mataji, no doubt. It's definitely going to happen.
it is not that we are forgetting Krishna, but somewhere we will slip. That time I feel so sad. Oh, I slipped. Oh, why it is happening like this, like that.
No,
Then
we should still continue. We should not be thinking about it. Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita that Sakajam karma kaunteya sadosam api natyaje sarvarambhagi dosena dhumena agni vavritagam. So all work is covered by some fault. So we should not just give up. We should continue. That's what is very important.
okay, Guruji. Okay, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji, for keeping us in Krishna consciousness, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna to everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Chandrakala Mataji, Hare Krishna. Ram Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, Guruji Chandrakala Mataji is the executive engineer at TNEB, Tamil Nadu Electricity Board.
Oh, very
I
nice.
invited her. I
Yeah,
am not
you
sure
told me.
whether she is unable to unmute. I think. Hello,
Yeah.
Chandrakala Mataji, are you there?
Yeah, I'm trying
Hello.
to. Yeah, yes, she unmuted now. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Vanakkam sir. Vanakkam sir.
Vanakkam.
Today is my first class.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, yes.
Hello Guruji. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste, Mataji.
Namaste sir. Today is my first class sir. Sriram sir only introduced me. Thank you very much sir. Your class is very nice. Today is my today I am attending your first class
Yeah, you are
live
able
program.
to fully understand everything today, Mataji. You were able to follow today.
I understand only one line. We have to surrender God, Krishna.
That's correct. That is enough. Yes, Mataji. That's enough.
That's all, sir. But clearly, I am not able to. Somebody told personal, impersonal, that and all. I am not able to clear properly. But final thing, we have to surrender God for everything. I am having Bhagavad Gita book in my office, Guruji. Before starting work, I will used to read only one line from Bhagavad Gita, just 1 minute. Thank you very much, Guruji.
That's very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, every day, if you continue to join, you will be able to get the complete Bhagavad Gita knowledge over a period of time.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Very nice, Mataji. I'm very happy to talk with you. Ram Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. It's all a blessing, Guruji. I had my in my engineering studies, Guruji, and one of my classmates called Rajakumari, Guruji. She's a very brilliant girl. She got married at the 3rd year of engineering studies, and she gave birth to a beautiful baby boy also on the 4th year, and she passed out in honors, Guruji. That shows a very sheer, and she's a devoted Lord Krishna devotee, very ardent devotee of Perumal and Satya Sai Baba as well, Guruji. And I came to know Sasikala Mataji through her, because I was looking out when I was doing farming services all in Srirangam, Guruji. This Chandrakala Mataji was executive engineer for Srirangam division. Lord Ranganathan placed her, and they were together. And then last 2 years, I came to know about Chandrakala Mataji. We exchanged messages, and I didn't mention to her when my father passed away. She was there as an executive engineer. I broke down at her office. I went there. I cried. Then everyone was worried about me. Then I told her I recovered now through you, and I included her, Guruji. Then it's all God's grace. I think by the time when I was talking, the Thangamile Jewelry, the popular jewelers, presented a Bhagavad Gita book to Mataji. Then she called me one of these days also. Then I told her this is what happening. Then last week she was there in ISKCON. Lord made him to visit also. She went for an official trip to Bangalore from TNEB, and from there she called me saying that, sir, I'm here in ISKCON. So that's all a divine connection, Guruji. Whatever we think, God knows the plan. Lord Krishna knows its plan, Guruji. We have to
plan for us, no doubt.
Yes, Guruji. And though the Maya, we are all under the spell of Maya. And other Mataji also very nicely she asked whether impersonal or personal form. That's a great learning, Guruji, today. Because generally we were supposed to what we do is we go around temples after temple, Guruji. So seeing the Lord in Archa Avatar, Lord Ranganatha or whatever it is, and I'm also, that also creates some self-pride, Guruji. Sometimes I go around and tell my friends, oh, I visited this many number of temples, like a score count. I visited 40 temples and other temples and all. That's the real purpose is get diluted, Guruji, when we go on Archa Avatar. But what you said in personal form, it makes me mellowed down. That's the greatest weapon to detach from all this worldly pleasures, Guruji. The worshipping in personal form of Krishna, like Mataji said, that is very much intimate, Guruji. We are connected. That's why this Alvar, all they go on a Nayagi Baba. They dress themselves as a lady or a girl or a service. Then the Purusha is our Lord Krishna. Somewhere the personal form is very, very important, Guruji. You stressed it out. And I have to elevate that to myself, Guruji. And having said that, one of my friend is now I'm coordinating. He's on the way to other temples. He visited Srirangam yesterday, the whole family. Sometimes, though we understand our spouse, better half and all, they would like to follow the crowd. Because these days, everywhere they are saying temples are mushrooming. And they wanted to visit all the temple. Even Iyengar started visiting other temples as well, Vailur, Kali temple, all these things and all. And my friend being an Iyengar, his Kuladaivam is Lakshmi Narasimhan. He wanted to visit Bakali Amman in Varayu. I said, it's okay, fine, arrange. It is all the better half our... They wish, because there is a peer influence, Guruji. Though we all know Lord Krishna is a supreme Lord, it's a peer influence among the society. But it's better, Guruji. It's better than going to movies and watching other things, Guruji. Let them go and visit. As you rightly said, all these demigods will also lead us to Krishna. So we can visit anywhere, but we should keep Krishna in our thoughts, Guruji. Thank you very much, Guruji. Wonderful class. Then I have to listen again, Guruji, to digest and take notes out of it, Guruji. Thank you very much. I'm happy Chandrakala Mataji is able to join. And I spoke to her yesterday. She formed another group in TNEB. They started listening in office itself. Every morning, both of them, they study. That's how we influence each other, Guruji. Wherever we go, we have to talk about Bhagavad Gita, Guruji. Those days, when I feel like a movie star, Rajinikanth, I go and form a group with them. In school, we all sit together, all the Rajini fans, all Gavaskar fans sit together. Similarly, Guruji, then we talk about during the break time, or we talk about how Gavaskar played, how this movie acted, something like that, Guruji. So now we form this group, Guruji. It's a knowledge cluster, divine cluster, not only a knowledge, divine cluster, and the real true knowledge cluster. We are all connected to the true knowledge, the real truth. Let us, Lord Krishna, Guruji. Thank you very much, Guruji. As I always say, I'm very happy to remain as a test. And we shall all meet Guruji, like being Chandrakala Mataji is there. Some more people also added, Guruji, this BG Naidu speech director. And there are a few VIPs I included in this group. So your September trip should be well utilized, Guruji. We shall all meet you in Srirangam. And we shall have a session over there, Guruji, after your Bangalore session. Okay. Hopefully, we shall all come to Bangalore. From there, we travel with you to Srirangam, Guruji. That should be the way, Guruji. So that we can remain with you for more time, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you so much, Guruji, for today's class. And so many points that you taught today was like reiteration of whatever we have learned in the past. So it's very wonderful learning, Guruji. And also we have understood that we should not be restricting ourselves from not working, Naishya Karma, as you told, right?
Yeah.
So we should not be restricting, thinking that it will result to some, like we falling into any of these three categories. Three modes of nature. So that is one wonderful learning, Guruji. And also you said that to fall in love with Krishna. That is really very wonderful golden nugget that you have given us.
That's correct.
Yes, Guruji. And Chandrakala Mataji has joined, and she said she used to read only one line in a day. But I think that is the faith that has got her here into this class. So that's what I think.
If we have faith, we get this knowledge.
Yes, Guruji. Having complete faith in Krishna is what we need to do. Thank you, Guruji, for leading us every day on Krishna consciousness path. Once again, thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Sumati Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the class. Thank you for all the explanations and also leading by example. The one thing which you told today, Guruji, in the beginning of the class, that we have to do our duty, right? We have that. That means if we are a grahastha, we have to. It's grahastha is better than sannyasi. Is it, Guruji? Is that what you meant?
Actually, there is nothing like sannyasi. Krishna is teaching that sannyasi means one who performs his duty and who renounces the results of the activity, is not attached to the results of the activity. So that's what is what is sannyasi. So, but what you are calling about grihastha sannyasi, that one is basically a varna, 4 varnas, 4 ashrams, basically, not even varnas, 4 ashrams. So there is brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi. So everyone is good only. It's not like that grihastha or sannyasi. So there is an ashram. So 4 ashrams. That's why you call it as 4 varnas, 4 ashrams. So that's what is called varna ashram. So kshatriya, brahmana, kshatriya, vaisya, sudra. So there is 4 varnas. Chatur varnya maya shishram. That's what Krishna says. And 4 ashrams are brahmachari, vanaprastha, sannyasi, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi. So that way, here the sannyasa, what we are studying, there Krishna is teaching that. So a person who just renounces the action is not a sannyasi. Only a person who is not attached to the results of activities, only he is a sannyasi. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
You understand?
Got it, Guruji. Got the distinction. Because I got confused with that other grihastha and sannyasi, and I thought, okay. I understand now, Guruji, that it is the context in which the word sannyasi is used is different. A person who gives, who does his duty, but is not attached to the results of his whatever
he is sannyasi and yogi.
Yeah, so he can be in any varnashram. He can be in any varna, in any ashrama. Yes. Okay. Wonderful, Guruji. Thank you very much for the class. And thank you for keeping us in Krishna consciousness always. And very nice to also know the distinction between the Avyakta and the, the personal form, the personal form of Krishna. So of all the different forms of Krishna, the personal form of Krishna alone is the best. Is it, Guruji?
That is the best.
That's the best.
Exactly. If you just worship Krishna directly, that is enough. That's it.
Yeah, and one more thing is, many people always say all paths lead to God, all paths lead in the same way. A lot of people just say God is impersonal. You know, when we talk to other people, they all have their own views of
there is a problem.
How they look at
we need to understand what Krishna is saying. That's the main thing. There is nothing else there for us to say or anyone to say anything. We have to listen to Krishna. If you don't listen to Krishna, we are cheating ourselves.
Okay.
Krishna is very clearly teaching in Bhagavad Gita. So if you just listen to Krishna, that's why Saddhavan Anasuyascha Sunyadapi Yonaraham Sopi Muktan Subal Lokan Prapniyat Punya Karma. If we just with faith, without envy, if we just listen to Krishna, that's enough. So that's what we need. We need to study, understand Bhagavad Gita, just follow Bhagavad Gita. There is no point in discussing about all other things, Advaita, this, that. All such things are waste of time. We are simply wasting our time. That's
Yes.
18th chapter, 700 verses, everything is very, very clear. Krishna is teaching us very clearly. We just have to follow. That's it.
And you've also told that without that faith, the whole study of the Gita itself is a waste.
It's a waste. It's not
without
possible.
the primary
Only with faith. Yes. Otherwise, it is a confidential knowledge, most confidential knowledge. We won't understand. People talk about Bhagavad Gita for hours without even mentioning Krishna only. So that is completely waste of time. If they get any shlokas but not bringing Krishna into picture, so that means they are simply wasting their time and others' time.
Yeah, but that's what happens with, I think, many people's interpretation. They all quote, the Gita is quoted in different ways, in different places. But only more like, as you said, as a management lesson, not as a
if
faith.
Even if in management lessons, they will not really get what is needed. They may say that it's management lesson, but if we take Krishna out of the picture, we are not getting the Bhagavad Gita at all.
Yeah, and you've also told today that not many people will get attracted to this form. In the sense, they may not immediately catch on.
Yes.
Immediately catch on
Because
to that
Maya
also.
is so strong and powerful, this material world,
Yes.
people are getting attached to this material world a lot.
Yes, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you so much, Guruji, for the class. Thank you for continuing to take our classes and for keeping us in Krishna consciousness. Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sashireka Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Guruji, I was with all the discussions, I am a little confused about impersonal form is very clear, but I'm very confused about the personal form and the understanding of the personal form. So I don't know whether I am right or not. So kindly let me know from chapter 12, as Krishna says. So for Arjuna, Krishna was there in person. He was there right next to him. So he was the personal form in that sense, because he's there. And we are not in that yuga. We are not so blessed. We don't see him next to us. So what is personal form for us?
Same Krishna only, whatever who was there in front of Arjuna, who gave. See, you are reading sometimes some books, somebody, or letter, for example, earlier days, or even email, correct? You are reading an email. These days, email. Earlier days, we used to write letters. For example, if our very close, for example, your daughter is sending an email from UK. So when you read, so that is like personal only, correct? So we call it a personal email you are reading, correct? So like that, Krishna in front of Arjuna gave this knowledge, so which is we are reading, we are studying this Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna gave this knowledge to all of us, not only to Arjuna, to all of us. He is directly talking to us. He is not, you are not able to see. Even now, Krishna is also standing in front of us, but you are not able to see.
True.
So Naham Prakasaka Sarvasi Yoga Maya Samavritaka. So I am not visible to everyone. I am covered by my internal potential.
Yoga Maya, yeah.
So that way, it is again, it's coming from Krishna. Like that's why Sanjaya said at the end, Vyasa Prasada Chutavan Yetat Duhyam Aham Param Yogam Yogeshwarat Krishnat Sakshat Kadayataka Swayam, correct? So by the mercy of Vyasa, I was able to directly hear from the master of all mystics, Yogam Yogeshwarat Krishna. So that way, whatever we are studying in Bhagavad Gita now, it is nothing different than what Arjuna heard from Krishna in the battlefield. Exactly.
No, that is Guruji, that is as far as what the text is concerned, as far as Krishna's words are concerned. But I'm talking about the form. Now, so that's
what I'm saying. If you are reading an email, the person is not sitting in front of you. You are not seeing that person, correct?
Yeah.
But you know that person is a form. You know that person very well. You have seen him, you know all those things, correct?
Yeah. So we perceive that. So that is the picture that comes. So what worshipping the personal form then means, this worship that we are regularly doing, that is the worship of the personal form, isn't it?
Correct. That is correct.
The Rupa Dhyana.
Going to temple worshipping.
Exactly. So what we learn as Rupa Dhyana, that means the form that I have at home, the picture that I have at home of Krishna, the image that I have of him, of him as a baby, of him giving the the jnana of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in the battlefield. All those things, the forms and the description of Krishna that comes through, the description of the Lord that comes through in various places, how he is, what is the jewelry that he's wearing, everything, whatever. All that. So when I look at him, when I imagine him, that is the personal form, isn't it?
That is the personal form.
Yeah. So I just wanted, because from what Ram Prabhu said, I was getting a little confused. So I was a little, and in the discussions that went earlier, I was getting a little confused. So I wanted very, very I wanted to absolutely clear whether I understood or I did not understand. So it was my understanding. Which was,
we are going and worshipping Lord Ranganatha or Balaji.
Yes.
Everything is personal form.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is right. Yeah. So that is, extremely, extremely interesting chapter, Guruji. 12th chapter is like, it is, like last time also when you started, I said that, yes, Bhakti Yoga is so special, so special. And this was, like, this is the thing to understand. So, and especially when he says the personal form, then, you feel so much satisfied, like Arjuna, that because Arjuna was also fond of the personal form, we are also fond of the personal form.
Yes.
So, that is the form
This
that we
is
can
all
easily
coming,
perceive.
Mataji, when Arjuna asks these questions, this is all coming from what Krishna in the previous slokas only. For example, in the 11th chapter, Arjuna asked Krishna to show his Vishwarupa, and then he wanted him to show his Chaturbhujena, the Deva Rupa, then Manusha Rupa. So that's what all this Manusha Rupa only. Arjuna, so he is comparing, in order to put simply, those who worship the Manusha Rupa or those who worship the Vishwarupa, who is the best? That's what he's asking.
Exactly. So, and he says very clearly that this is the easier path. The Manusha Rupa is the easier path.
Rupa is the easiest, exactly.
And it is better, and he is the more
You can
perfect.
say either Manusha Rupa or Deva Rupa, both are his personal forms.
Both are, yes, his personal forms. Yeah, very, very nice. This knowledge enriched, feel absolutely enriched, Guruji, by this knowledge, because the understanding becomes so clear when you explain. Extremely grateful to you, extremely indebted to you, and thoroughly enjoying this inward journey, Guruji. Thoroughly enjoying this inward journey, and being able to relate to Bhagavad Gita in every sphere of my life is a blessing. Thank you so much, Guruji. And it has brought about so much of transformation. I'm so grateful to you, because I notice the changes. I notice that I don't react to everything now the way, and I realize there is no need to react, and that is because of Bhagavad Gita. That is because you are keeping us in that, you're giving us that knowledge, and every day, every class, that knowledge is getting stronger, and the implementation is getting stronger. Thank you so much, Guruji. I just can't imagine how we lived all these years without this knowledge now.
That's the thing. After understanding this entire Bhagavad Gita, we can't even imagine a life without Bhagavad Gita.
Absolutely. And when you say higher taste, this is so true. This is the taste. And this is the only taste now. Thank you so much, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Manoranjan Sagu Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. So yesterday I was disconnected because due to college. So generally I take with much difficulty, but yesterday I forgot to take the mobile, so that I was deprived of yesterday class. I am very unfortunate. So I felt so much as if I have lost everything. So because of losing the class. So because I was towards more time and very particular, so I have to rush toward the college and to get to take the mobile. So really it's a very good discussion today, that Arjuna also asked Vishwarupa in the highest form, the Manuswarupa. As to today's discussion is very enlightening. All discussion, any word in Gita has a powerful meaning. We think that it is not, but is a feeling will generated towards. We will be more closer to Lord Krishna when you any word of Gita, to take it very philosophical way, and you can enjoy really that Vishwarupa or Manuswarupa, that is a different forms. So we can go very closer to, because nowadays those who are saints, yogis, they can see the ultimate truth through only Nirakara. So that only there is no personal form. They connect. But we the people, Sansarika, it's not easy task. Sukma te Sukma. So we have to go through only personal form. So, and Arjuna has that power, and Arjuna has something is different. So he has to power Vishwarupa, the more than human form. But we are the easiest way to to touch. We have not that kind of knowledge, qualifications to the, like Shankaracharya, Vedantic philosophers. They can show the Nirakar, not Akara, not by Manusya, the forms, the personal forms. So they want to see the, that is different way, but we can't go to that state of mind. If you try, you can, but it is easiest way to the Samasundara, the personal form, as you discussed. Really very nice discussions. It requires not confusion. It's either that kind of introspection, that kind of perception is required to, if you read Gita seriously and sincerely, and we can enjoy the what is that important or what is unimportant. So as the discussion is about, I forgot where I noted down that each word you can find more meaningful. It is not like English, but Sanskrit, I found any word, each word has a literal meaning. We just not to get by heart. Guda case like that, as the discussion was going on, I forgot where somewhere I wrote and got it that dictionary. Each word has a meaning. So, Vitpati in Sanskrit. So, we are very proud in a scientific language, and Gita and Krishna, it's the Sanskrit, it is written not in any other language. So, it is, you cannot compare, it is Deva Bhasha. So, really, we can understand it very closer if you understand the things, word, not by getting by heart. It's easy, and if devotion is required, also Jnana is also needed. The Jnana is knowledge. The knowledge is through any word from Gita. Why is said Sabyasachi like that? You just get by it, it's an easy thing. But to know the things in detail, we have to take sadhana. So thank you, Guruji. Pranam, Guruji, for your wonderful lecture. It is a great contribution, and Prabhupada also given much pain for us to elevate us to that Golaka. And Guruji, you also taking all kind of endeavors for us to enlighten us regularly. Thank you, Guruji. Pranam, Guruji. Pranam, pranam, pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Satyendra Singh Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Pranam.
Pranam Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful lecture. Really, I enjoyed the discussion with the devotees, asking their doubts, personal form. Really wonderful class. I enjoyed it. In today's session, in the beginning, you have given a very good mantra that follow instructions.
Yes.
Follow instructions of Krishna. That will be the loving Krishna. Loving Krishna means attachment to Krishna. Attachment to Krishna means detachment to the material worlds. That is beautiful, simple, interesting, lovely mantra you have given today. I really enjoyed it, and especially the session interaction, the today's sloka also, and the wonderful doubt clearing session for personal form. Really wonderful class, sir. Thank you, Guruji, for all this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Vrinda Jai Singh Mataji, Hare Krishna. Sunil Shivas Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Guruji, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Guruji.
Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Pranam Guruji.
Pranam, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Vrinda Jai Singh Mataji, are you able to unmute yourself? Hare Krishna. Just listen to Prabhupada's Kirtan now.
Can you hear me, Guruji? Can you hear me, Guruji?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I was not able to. Yes, my Wi-Fi goes very poor. Thank you, Guruji, for the class.
That's fine. No problem. Yes, Mataji.
Wonderful.
Are you able to hear now? Yes.
Yeah,
Mataji.
now it's better. Yes, yes. So, Guruji, personal and impersonal form. So, in the past, you have spoken about that Brahman state. So, is that Brahman state beyond that impersonal form? Is that what you meant by that Brahman state?
No. That is not impersonal. That is Brahma Jyoti you are talking about. That's impersonal Brahma Jyoti like that. But Brahman state is actually Bhagavan realization. So there is Brahman realization, Paramatma realization, Bhagavan realization. So that we are going to Bhagavan, Supreme Lord. So that is more personal. It is not impersonal. It's a personal.
Okay. Because I remember when you had done it earlier in some classes of ours, the Brahman state. So that
No, that is maybe Brahman realization. That is impersonal.
That's what, because you had spoken about, you said this Brahman word comes very often. So I think...
Yeah, but the meaning in different contexts is different. So when we are talking about Brahma Bhuta platform, that is Brahman realization. So that is we are realizing that we are devotee of Krishna and getting freed from this material world and going to Goloka and enjoy that. So that is different from that Brahman realization, what is talked about, that impersonal
I thought that impersonal state, what impersonal is with no form, impersonal. Yes, which is a difficult part to understand. Yes. Yes, Guruji. So you are leading us to the easy path and the true and surely reaching the goal. Yes, Guruji. Thank you so much. It's nice to come back on a daily basis and get ourselves freshened. Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.